Hi, I'm E.D. Lewis, and welcome back to my channel, yet again for another book review, on this very rainy day, because there's a window right here. You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you like the video, please hit that like button by the end, and please leave a comment. I love to read those comments, and I just don't get to read enough of them. So even if you say hi, that'd be great. But please keep your comments G, PG, or PG-13, nothing any higher, and nothing inappropriate, because that's not nice. I hope everybody's staying safe out there and not getting too stir crazy. I know you're tired of probably hearing about that. But, things are going to get better soon. Just got to hang in there. Alright. So, I said I was going to do another video, within the next few days or so. And I'm delivering. So, last time I did a short story, and now I'm doing a novel. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to get to do this one, or I was going to do another novel. Well, it turned out I'm getting to do this one that you're watching right now. So, for this book review, we're reviewing the Gothic novel, because all my stuff that I review on here is Gothic. Flowers in the Attic, by V.C. Andrews. And there's an interesting little story about me in this book that I'm not sure I should tell right now or I should wait. I think I'll wait and I'll get to that, because we're going to do a little bit of a shout out in this video also. But I have my notes right here. All my glasses on. I really don't want to wear them right now. This book was published in 1979. It is a Gothic horror, and I would even say to an extent Gothic romance. Especially in this, the classic best-selling novel of Forbidden Love. But there is a bit of romance in there anyway, so I would consider it a little bit of Gothic romance. And we're back to this time around being the regular female Gothic as opposed to male Gothic, like with the short story from last time. So we're focused more on the Gothic elements than we are horror, but it's still a horror story. It's more psychological horror, though, so if you like psychological horror, you'd probably like this. This book is one of the most shocking and popular Gothic novels of the postmodern literature. Let me go ahead and get into why I got interested in this book, and then we'll pop back into the review for it. I got interested in let's back up a little further than that. For years, I've actually seen V.C. Andrews' books on shelves before, but I never picked up one before. And I've actually seen this book several times, not in this cover necessarily, which this is the 40th anniversary. It came out last year, so this book is 41, not this copy, of course, but this book is 41 years old now, as of sometime this year when it came out. I think it came out in later in the year. I don't suppose it tells me. But, as I do this, I'd seen V.C. Andrews. I can remember in high school seeing shelves of it. Seeing a bunch of them on the shelf anyway. There might have been 2 shelves, for all I know. And, no, that was when this edition came out. Well, maybe it was even November when it was published. Well, later this year I'll be 41, so it's still 40, but, anyway. So, I've seen this book many times, and I've probably even seen it in bookstores like Hastings Books, which doesn't exist anymore, and, possibly even Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, anyway. But I was never too interested in it, and I remember when the Lifetime movie version came out on DVD, and I saw the cover, and eventually my mom bought it used at a video store, and she'd watched it, not with me, and so she didn't really care much for it, though, at the time. Now she likes it a lot now. And I kind of forgotten she bought it. Then, when she was going through movies and was planning on getting rid of some, that was one of the ones she was going to get rid of. She wasn't sure she was ever going to watch it again. And I was like, oh, don't get rid of that. I want to see that. Well, she ended up getting rid of it without me getting to see it, so. And I knew about the 1980s film version because I'd seen it at the video store several times. And I had actually delved into it and looked into the book just a little bit and found out one of the plot twists. So, which I'm not going to give away that plot twist. Although it's connected with the nickname I have for this book. And unfortunately, I can't say the nickname without giving that away. But anyway. Then, and also I can remember seeing several of the books by this author and her ghostwriter because she passed away in the 1980s, and still there's a nice flow of V.C. Andrews books coming out because the ghostwriter they hired to continue the legacy. So, a few months ago or so, I started to become interested in the idea in reading this book. And I think I probably saw on a list of Gothic novels to read as a suggestion, probably on Goodreads or something. And I kept thinking about it for a few weeks. And then I saw on one of my favorite BookTube channels, I don't know if you subscribe to her, but I would highly recommend so, because her videos are very entertaining and very good. Regina's Haunted Library, you can find her here on YouTube. She also has Instagram, and I don't know if she has Twitter or not, and I think she has Facebook. I'm not sure. I know she has Instagram, off the top of my head. She did a video review on this book and some of the follow-ups since, and it was just so ironic because I'd been thinking about the book for 2 weeks before that video popped up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's ironic. So I watched the video, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely have to read the book now. Not just thinking about it, it was a determination. So I checked around locally, and nobody had a copy of the book. Even my local bookstore did not. And the only place was the library. So I ended up checking it out at the library, and I read some of it then. And then I had to go out of town to actually get the copy I got, which I was hoping to find a used copy. Didn't. All I found was new, so I had to buy new. So I had to spend around $16 or so. Yeah, $16 for this book. So, I was hoping to find a used copy, but all you can really seem to find now is, really is the 40th anniversary one, is what, Walmart and Amazon and all the bookstores are selling right now. So, unless you can find a used copy, but, we'll get more into that a little bit later. So, I started reading the book, and I finished it recently, so. Anyway, getting back into the review now for this book. And I wrote out a special synopsis here. Like I usually do, but this one I tried to make it more special. The book is about these 4 children, Chris, Kathy, Carrie, and Corey, who live with their loving parents, Corinne and Christopher, in, basically the ideal life. Until the father is killed in a car accident, the family is devastated, and their lives change more when they go off to live with their live at their grandparents' house, called Foxworth Hall. So we got the the looming mansion, typical Gothic. Except the children are forced to stay in this little room in an unlived wing of the house. And they can only go between there, and it has a little bathroom in it, and a closet. They can go between, that and the attic, which is, the door to the attic is inside the closet, actually, and at least it's a little stairwell that goes upstairs. As far as we know, it's the only way into the attic, so. I paraphrased some of what I said here. Through the closet. The children become this big secret for her mother, or their mother and their grandmother, because of what the mother and father had did years before and caused the mother, to be disinherited. So the children have lived up. So the children have to live up there in secret from their very sick and dying grandfather until he either forgives his daughter or he dies of old age because, you know, he's on his way out. Well, or, you know, that's what they keep hearing anyway. And puts her back into his will. But it seems that they may be trapped in a living nightmare for the rest of their lives, suffering abuse, starvation, isolation, and the struggles of growing up under the thumb of their strict and cruel grandmother. And the grandmother is really cruel. So there's all kinds of things that happen. Like I did say, isolation, starvation, which isolation is great right now. So you think it's bad for us right now with all the quarantine and isolation. Read this book and yeah, you'll see how bad isolation can be for these 4 children. So, but there's all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on in this book. And it kind of shocked me even. And I knew some of the twists and turns. And I've seen the Lifetime movie version and the 1980s film version. I've actually seen all the Lifetime movie ones based on this series, which only did 4. And there's actually several books in the series. The first original 3 are the ones that are actually written by V.C. Andrews herself, and then the 5th one was written by the ghostwriter, and so on and so forth. So there's like 1, 2, 3. I think there's 10 and about to be 11 books in this series, because they have a trilogy that's been coming out, I think, last year or so. They had 2 editions of it, and they have the 3rd one in that trilogy that's a prequel trilogy to come out in like June or something, and it's based around the great-grandmother of the children. So, but the character of Kathy, she narrates this book and all her experiences and her thoughts. It's all from her point of view, but yeah, she's kind of tough, and they go through hell, literally hell. You know, they are abused by their grandmother. They're up there for a very long time, and they had to basically figure out how to live up there. And all they have really is they have food being brought to them and some clothes sometimes, and they have, like I said, they had to figure out how to live up there, and they had to figure out their own lives in this very isolated area. This little room that has a bathroom and a closet, and then upstairs in this immense attic and this little schoolroom that they have also. And they have to keep very quiet during certain times, and they have to sneak up to the attic and stay up there and be very quiet while the room's being cleaned, and they have to be shut in from all the sunlight because they're not allowed to have the windows open in case anybody were to see them. Yeah, it's bad. So, they're cut off from the outside world. But anyway, I would highly recommend Flowers from the Attic. If you have not read this, go ahead and go out and read it. I know there are Kindle editions of this. I'm sure Walmart, I think, might sell an ebook version. Maybe. I'm pretty sure it's on Nook and Kindle. But yeah, go out and find this book. Unfortunately, there might be an audio version on Audible too, but I'm not sure about that one. There are no YouTube ones, really. There's YouTube for the first few chapters, and that's the prologue and chapter 1 and chapter 2. And it's just 2 videos. So you're not going to get much there if you wanted to listen to it on YouTube. So just basically, you're going to have to go out and buy the book. And this is not the cover I originally started with. The cover I originally started with was blue and red, and it had the girl, a different picture of a girl being Kathy, and her hair is, all flying out everywhere. So, but check that out. Check out the Lifetime movies. Check out the 1980s film. There's one particular scene in the 1980s film that is very spot on with the book, and it is kind of horrific, that scene. In the Lifetime movie version, it's not so much. The Lifetime movie is dampened down a little bit. It's not so crazy, not quite as violent and disturbing. It has disturbing moments, but it's not as... they tamed it way down for that. And the 80s movie, of course, is tamed down somewhat, except for that one scene is horrific. Close to how it is in this book, so... check those out, and, yeah. So, before we go, if you'd like if you're interested in my book, I'm pulling up the Kindle edition real quick. My book, The Curse of Rich House, is available in paperback and Kindle, and right now the Kindle will be easier to get and it's cheaper. On Amazon, it's The Curse of Rich House by E.D. Lewis. It is a gothic novel, of course. So check that out. It's only $2.99 on Kindle. And please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The links for all of this is down below in the description, as well as please visit my author page on Amazon. Please check out my the official Facebook page for my book, The Curse of Rich House. That link for that will be down below as well. And you can find me on Wattpad, and I have some other writings on Wattpad, including the first 2 chapters of my book. So please follow me and like and subscribe, the video, my channel, other videos I have. So check this out. So, yeah. Have a great day. Hopefully it's not raining where you are. And keep safe. And be kind to everyone, just like Ellen says. So, bye-bye.